Hello there. Welcome to your program, Security Reports, where we get you informed, educated, enlightened, and most importantly, updated on security issues anywhere it is happening. I remain yours and only, Ernest Enuneku. Well, as you can see, I'm hosting the program today alone because Shirley Daniels is on official assignment, but be rest assured, she'll be here next week to join us on the program. Today's program, we are bringing it live to you from the gate of the University of Port Harcourt, as you can see behind me. And it's basically because we are looking into a very sensitive issue that is plaguing our society today, talking about cultism. Cultism, as we all know, many people have said is the mother of all crimes, and I will want to align with them. I want to align with that school of thought that cultism is actually the mother of all crimes. And in some years back, people say to be a cult member, you must be associated with a higher institution, such as this behind me. But today, the case is different. It has degenerated to the point where even in our primary schools, even in our secondary schools, you could see cult activities. And this, I tell you, have actually increased the rate of crime in the society. Today we are looking into this issue, and we are also hoping that at the end of this program, because we had an interview with the Commissioner of Lagos talking about Zubairu Muazu, CP Zubairu Muazu. He also talked how Lagos State is trying to checkmate the menace of cultism in the state. Now, like I said earlier, this program is packed with a lot of things. We'll also be looking at the Nigerian Army Day celebration that just rounded up over the weekend. We'll be getting you some reports from that. We'll begin now today's program with our interview with the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, talking about CP Zubairu Muazu, a perfect gentleman who, since he came on board as the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, have done a lot to sustain the peace in Lagos State. And like we all know, Lagos State is geographically one of the smallest states in Nigeria, yet the most populated. It has a population of over 23 million people residing in Lagos State. And you must agree with me that policing these 23 million persons, over 23 million persons, is not easy. CP Zubairu Muazu and his men of the Nigerian Police Lagos State are doing a lot to ensure that citizens of Lagos State sleep with their two eyes closed. We had this interaction with him. Let's get you that report now.
In his desire to keep informing the people of what him and his men are doing to ensure that they live and sleep with their two eyes closed, he has granted us this opportunity to talk with him. I'm talking about the man who doesn't sleep because he wants you to sleep and have your rest and pursue your lawful activities in the city that when he sneezes, the whole country, Nigeria, catches cold. I'm talking about Lagos State. Now we're in the office of the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, CP Zubairu Muazu. I'm sure you know who I'm talking. This is a man, when he came in, Lagos State so far has witnessed relative peace. Even when the troublemakers want to cause trouble, somehow they forget what they're doing, or the police bring them to order. Join us as we discuss with him on how it has been security-wise in Lagos State. Sir, it's a pleasure to talk with you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have a platform that people all over the world watches. They want to know what is happening in Nigeria. And in all sincerity, when you talk about Lagos, you're talking about Nigeria, because Lagos today is the mini Nigeria. You know, how is it like security-wise in Lagos State?
Well, let me go spiritual. We thank God Almighty for giving us the relative peace we're enjoying in Lagos today. I would say largely due to our collective prayers and the few measures we have taken, the few strategies we have put in place to ensure that we reduce crime in Lagos to the barest minimum. I came into Lagos in February at the eve of the elections, and we did a lot of community policing involving the public in what we are doing. consultations, various stakeholders, and we had a relatively peaceful election. It's on record that for the first time, Lagos has recorded a violence-free general elections where no single life was lost. I think this is the first time Lagos is recording that, so we thank Almighty God for that. The elections came and went, and of course with the elections over, we expect all the employees in quotes that the politicians had will go back to the streets. But again, our strategies are paying off. We're able to curtail them, and we have crime reduced to the barest minimum in Lagos.
Yeah, because our fear then, immediately after the election, was that the mayhem would be let loose in Lagos State, knowing that these politicians, like you described, their employees, quote unquote, they want to make use of what they have been given during the election to wreak havoc. But it seems that you were being proactive, because shortly after that, you rounded up some miscreants and some of their places. How did it go?
Yes, you know, during the elections, we were very conscious of the fact that we were doing two things at a time. We were trying to ensure that we give Lagosians a safe and secure environment to go and cast their votes during elections, and we're still battling with the issues of ordinary security in Lagos, which is still our responsibility and we have to do. So these two things we are doing at the same time. By the time the elections were over, we are left with managing crime in Lagos. So we now channeled all our energy towards ensuring that Lagos is crime-free. The miscreants we had in Lagos before the elections, like we said, got employment sort of during the political days. They were carried along with political rallies and campaigns, and they were getting stipends from politicians, and that took them off crime for some time. We are fully aware that as soon as these elections go, we are likely to have them back. So we really prepared for them. We had the crime mapping of the states. We have identified volatile areas. We know which crimes are prevalent in what part of Lagos, and we really prepared very well for that. Lagos is very peculiar in the sense that the most populated states in Nigeria also have the least land mass as far as the area of Lagos is concerned. So the population with the smaller land mass make it very, very peculiar. And we ensure that wherever we have these massive populations, we anticipate there will be crime, and we give it special attention. Now, if you want to do crime prevention strategies, you can never succeed if you don't talk to the people there. This is why we keep on talking about community policing, community policing, community policing. If you leave your doors open, you have telephone lines open, you succeed in crime prevention and crime control. Because people are willing. People are always willing to come and tell you, this is where our problem is. And once they tell you, you move in with the professionalism. We have all the crime prevention strategies. We have all the gadgets. We are blessed with the Lagos State Security Trust Fund that has been supporting us with equipments, with vehicles, and the maintenance of those vehicles. So at every nook and cranny of Lagos you go, you see all these vehicles. And with the structure we have on ground, from the CP to the deputy commissioners, to the area commanders, to the DPOs, we all work in synergy. And another thing that has worked for us in Lagos very well is the synergy between us and other agencies. I never believe that one agency can do it alone. So I always carry my colleagues in other services along. With any security challenge we believe we are going to have, we envisage, I consult. I talk to them, get their ideas, where they're physically involved, they're always ready. We come together and then we face it. This is why cases like kidnapping have become a matter of the past in Lagos. The military are always there to assist us. The DSS are there to assist us with their professionalism in terms of the equipments we used for tracking and the rest of it. Every agency is important to us. The civil defense, all of us, we come together. That is why we enjoy relative peace in Lagos today.
Yes, we can't exhaust it all because Lagos, with its population and the density of these people, a lot of crimes take place. But somehow you have always been able to pick these people off the streets. Just a few weeks back, you paraded and some of the suspects, especially these cultists and all that, they were also released by the population officer. Can you let us into some of the recent breakthroughs the command has recorded recently?
About 2 weeks ago, like you said, we paraded the arrest we made so far with regards to cultism. Cultism is one of the most serious issues we have in Lagos now. Our young men have gone into this thing and it's becoming a real menace for all of us. We have various call groups in various parts of Lagos. Our DPOs are working very hard to get us all the intelligence we need about these areas. We are speaking to parents from the family level. We are speaking to teachers in secondary schools. We are in touch with them. We are talking to the universities, tertiary institutions on how we can solve this. This is largely behind our success in trying to address the situation of cultism in Lagos, and it's really, really working good for us. Most of the tertiary institutions we speak with the students' union, governments, they are also concerned. So as far as I'm concerned, we are trying to see that this particular menace is wiped totally from Lagos State. And by God's grace, we are succeeding.
Well, this strategy you have used of relating with the people and interacting with them seems to have been paying off, because following your track record from Niger State, you instituted then the forum where they reach out to the people. In Akwa Ibom, you extended it. In Lagos State, where we thought people would be so busy to even attend to police, you seem to be able to get them on your side. Would you say that Lagosians have also keyed to that system of also letting police be their friend?
You'll be surprised that they're always very interested to hear from the police. I believe maybe years before, it's the police that has not been reaching out to the people. But once they see you willing to listen to them, I assure you they will come. People come with their problems, and then we put our heads together, and then we find solutions to their problems, and they go back to their areas. What I ensure doing is that my DPOs must do a follow-up. Whatever we sit and do here at the headquarters, I make sure that the area commanders, the DPOs are involved, and they go back, they follow it up to the latter, and they give me feedback on what they are doing with their communities. We have a very vibrant police community relations committee. The chairman is very up and doing. All the members are enthusiastic, very much interested. You'll be surprised at what of the things we initiated by them, and then we just come in and assist them. So once police is ready to talk to the people, sure people will come. And once the people start seeing results in what we are doing, they also be interested to participate in it and share in the glory of whatever your achievements are. So it's me now that is trying to manage the people that wants to really partner with me. And I make sure that anybody who comes gets my listening ear, and then we work together. That is why you see that we have a peaceful and calm Lagos these days.
Yes, we also express it because we're here for some days now.
That's right.
But during rainy seasons like this, Lagos State roads seems to a lot of potholes, craters, and that causes a lot of congestion, traffic, and traffic situation also gives room for some of all these people who do traffic robbery, snatching people's bags and necklaces and all that.
Yes, right.
How are you able to tackle that at this period?
Yes, as you rightly said, I've spoken earlier about the population of Lagos. And traffic congestion can come because of so many reasons. One, the population is a factor. People have to move out. Two, the transportation system. The state government is trying a lot to improve on the public transportation system, which we believe will take more cars off the roads if it is good. And sometimes the bad roads, lack of drainages, once it rains, the roads get overflooded, and definitely you can't go at the normal speed you want to go, so it accumulates and becomes a problem. But I assure you that the state government is concerned. We've been talking with the government through the Ministry of Transportation on how these traffic issues are going to be solved, and very soon we'll come up with a plan, collaboration between the government, the police, and other traffic management agencies.
Okay. I know that in like other developed countries, some cosmopolitan cities in the world, they used to also have what they call 24 hours economy, maybe nightlife bustling. Lagos is a city that is also bustling at night, but somewhere earlier on afraid because of kidnapping. How is Lagos nightlife now?
Lagos nightlife is wonderful. It's wonderful. I assure you that, except maybe in areas like Apapa, Apapa used to be a very lively place at night. But because of the peculiar problem Apapa we have now, which everybody knows, the nightlife in Apapa is going down. Otherwise, all parts of Lagos that used to have nightlife is still on. Perhaps maybe because of the economy again. If you see any place that is not going on, maybe the economy could be the reason, but not security. As far as security is concerned, people are free to move around in Lagos. And you see all our patrol vehicles all over throughout the night. Our communication equipments are fantastic. If you follow our radio communication, if you are privileged to follow, but I know you are not a security man, so if you don't follow it, 24 hours we are on air, 24 hours. And any situation we have, the nearest patrol teams, whatever, move in there. People feel secured and the people go about their local businesses. Anytime in Lagos, 24 hours.
So we know you're very busy, so we won't take your time. But let me, we saw another side of you, and empathy. Somebody who is like a father, calm. When there was an incident of when some policemen accidentally shot and killed a Nigerian youth, and there were upcry everywhere. But you stepped in. You were there with the family of the young man that was killed, and we saw you emotional, talking to the people and all that. You did not stop there. You also did your in-house disciplinary activities. I would say that the police we have in Lagos today is very receptive to the situation that's happening. Empathy when there's need, stick when there's need to discipline.
If you look at our private responsibility as police officers, protection of life and property, and then government invests on us, train us, give us weapons so that we can provide security for people, and then these same weapons somehow are used against the same citizens of the country, definitely you have to be moved. You have to be moved. We are also parents, so we can put ourselves in the shoes of these parents and see what it means. A police officer who is supposed to protect life and property, now using the same weapon that is provided for him to do such assignment against citizens. You have to be moved. And if you are a father, you should know what these parents will feel. So what I did was just to tell them that I'm with them and emphasize to the world that Nigerian police is not going to condone any of this act of lawlessness by our officers. Any of our officers that find himself in such position will be dealt with appropriately according to the law. So all the cases I had of policemen unlawfully killing innocent citizens, I made sure that the cases are followed to the letter. These policemen are identified, they are tried administratively through our regulations, and I hand them over for prosecution, because murder is murder. Whether it's committed by a policeman, whether it's committed by anybody, murder is murder. So if you kill anybody, you should go to the courts and face the wrath of the law. So all police officers in Lagos during my tenure who happen to find themselves in this position are now facing their murder charges in court. And we make sure we assure Nigerians that the Nigerian police force will not ask any policeman to go and use his gun to kill anybody, and will not protect any policeman that find himself in this kind of situation.
So our hands finally, but so let me take this, if you permit me. You have also set another example, because all over the Federation there's this campaign, End SARS, End SARS. But in Lagos City, you seem to have somehow refined it that even though the cry is no longer as much as it used to be. What did you do differently? Why is it? How are you able to manage the situation in Lagos State?
I'm telling you, it's just supervision of these boys. You just need to supervise them. Get hold of your area commanders and your DPOs and hold them responsible for any act of misbehavior of their officers. They are all out there every day. The area commanders and DPOs, you see them on the roads. And that's the only way you can keep these policemen on check. We do a lot of training for them. I don't think they will say they lack much training now, even though we can do more. Given the opportunity, we can do more of the training, but we give a lot of training. My training is on a weekly basis. Every week you go to the officers' mess, you see police officers being trained from various parts of Lagos. So there's constant regular training. So with that, and with the assistance of the state government in terms of our equipment and whatever, we have no reason not to perform. We have no reason to misbehave at all. So I don't condone it. And once they know leadership will not condone it, definitely everybody will try to follow the best practices that is allowed by the profession. This is where we are today in Lagos.
So finally, what would be your message to Lagosians? Because these are vibrant people, and those who want to come into Lagos. From our own information, we gathered there are close to millions of people that come into Lagos every day, and some go out, some remain here. What message do you have for them?
Let me use the opportunity to thank Lagosians. A very vibrant population, very enlightened population, and people who are always ready and willing to improve on their surroundings and their environments. The kind of cooperation I receive from Lagosians is unprecedented. People are willing to partner with us. People are willing to talk to us. People are willing to tell us where we are wrong. And that is very, very important to me. Where you think we are not doing it rightly, let us know. And we improve on it. If there are ways we are doing things that you think are not proper, you tell us, and we critically look at it and find out that yes, you are right, we change it. This is why there is synergy between us and the Muslim population. I want to thank Lagosians and call on them to give us more cooperation, more collaboration. Anything happening in the environment, Lagos, please let us know and let us take immediate action. It's only by doing that we can nip every crime situation in the bud without it happening. Thank you.
Welcome back from that interview with CP Zubairu Muazu. I'm sure you are more enlightened now on the efforts being made by the Lagos State Police Command to ensure that Lagosians sleep with their two eyes closed. We are still here in front of the University of Port Harcourt here in Rivers State. So, like I said earlier, it's basically to bring to our minds the effect or where most people say cultism started, the higher institution. But we must say today that everything must be done, beginning from the smallest unit, which is the family, to ensure that we begin to educate our children, begin to educate our wards on the negative influence of joining any cult group. It is not good, it should be discouraged, and our government and every security agencies must do everything in their power to ensure that cultism is actually eradicated from our society. Moving on the program, we will be bringing to you the activities of the Nigerian Army in their just concluded Nigerian Army Day celebration that took place in Lagos State.
Initiated and actualized the establishment of Nigerian Agricultural Business Enterprise, Nigerian Army War College, Nigerian Army Blueprint in the next 10 years, and construction of various roads, accommodation, and rehabilitation. Nigerian Army to provide explosive devices manual, service schemes to the office, and importantly again, the establishment of counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency in New York. Various effective and very successful exercises were introduced and are already on to address the myriad of security challenges facing the various regions of this country, notably exercise programs like fighter dance now, exercise AKK, exercise Bishop, exercise Ruakada, Character, among others. These exercises, ladies and gentlemen, are programmed, address and are still addressing the myriad of security challenges facing our country. Nigerian Army is followed behind under the leadership of Lieutenant General Tukur Sokotai in addressing issues of human rights. Hence, we raise the establishment of human rights, Nigerian Medical Center, commissioning of medical consultants, and Nigerian Aviation Corps, among others. Training of pilots is also outstanding in Nigerian Army. We saw another important issue in the areas of effective fight against insurgency. We saw the establishment and operationalization of new operational units, notably 8th Division, 6th and 8th Division Nigerian Army were introduced. We also have the production of states, recruitment centers, in order to state of the federation, and raise recruitment. Nigerian Army, land forces, study the government in Nigeria, establishment of vigorous authorities in various states of Nigeria, and those security services. The establishment of the
Welcome back. That was a march past in honor of the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, talking about President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. They're receiving the accolades of the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Yes, during that ceremony, the Vice President actually delivered a speech. The speech is loaded. We'll be getting you that speech now. And though we promised to get you a security expert to look into some of the issues raised by the Vice President regarding the security situation in Nigeria and what they plan or what the federal government plans to do to ensure that Nigeria is safe.
I'm delighted to be in your midst today on this very special occasion of the Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2019, an annual event which affords the Nigerian Army an opportunity to showcase its rich history, its values, its achievements, and to demonstrate its commitment to being a professionally responsive force in the discharge of its constitutional role. This year's theme, I'm told, is Professionally Responsive Soldiering, a panacea for the success of military operations. A year ago, I joined you in the town of Mongolu in Borno State for the military equipment exhibition event and part of the 2018 celebrations, part of the 2018 Army Day celebrations. There is, I must say, a reassuring feeling that comes from knowing that year in, year out, the Nigerian Army will always be here, growing from strength to strength, and fulfilling its primary responsibility of securing the territorial integrity of Nigeria. This has been true for the last 156 years, and I am confident that by the grace of God, this will continue for yet another 156 years and beyond. I'm told that this year's celebration is taking place here in Lagos and is holding simultaneously with the Combat Support Arms Training Week, which provides the combat support arms of the Nigerian Army with a platform to reappraise their performance. It is gratifying to note that this year's celebration has again provided the Nigerian Army with another opportunity to celebrate and honor deserving personnel who excelled in the fight against insurgencies and other criminal activities across the nation. Let me use this opportunity to reiterate our absolute determination to achieve success in our fight against insurgency and other forms of criminal conduct in the country. You, the members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, have continued to put in your best on behalf of our country. Several of your colleagues have indeed paid the supreme price in order to keep us safe and secure. We acknowledge and appreciate these sacrifices and pray for the repose of the souls of the deceased. Our hearts are with their families and loved ones. It is our responsibility as a government and as political leaders to ensure that they did not and do not die in vain. We have a duty to continue to make available to you, our armed forces, all the moral, material, and financial support that you require. Let me again assure you, on behalf of the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari, that we will faithfully discharge all our obligations to you. We also must and will continue to demonstrate the political will and determination towards ensuring that our land is rid of insurgency and that criminality is kept. During the first term of this administration, we worked tirelessly to lay the foundations for Nigeria that works for all of us, regardless of ethnicity, religion, or party affiliation. Our priorities were and remain security, the economy, and the fight against corruption. The challenges that we faced were grave, but we faced the task resolutely. We rolled back the footprints of Boko Haram, where once they controlled 17 local governments in this country in the northeast of Nigeria, especially as of early 2015, today they control no Nigerian territory. Independent observers have reported also that there has been a drastic decline in the fatalities caused by Boko Haram and the various factions of the group that exist today. They are no more than a shadow of what existed when we came into office. We are surrounded by the evidence of the progress that has been made in the fight against insurgency. As you all know, Mongono, where you held the military equipment exhibition and the mini trade fair last year, was once a stronghold of Boko Haram. Sambisa Forest, once the spiritual heartland of the insurgents, hosted the 2017 Nigerian Army Small Arms Championship. More than 100 of our Chibok girls, abducted in April 2014, have been rescued and reunited with their families, in addition to the Dapchi girls, and tens of thousands of other Boko Haram hostages and victims freed across the Northeast. Let me say that we want to reassure the affected families and friends that this administration will not relent in its efforts to bring back all the remaining girls, including Leah Sharibu, who has become a poster child for the heinous activities of Boko Haram insurgency. We will reunite them with their families and friends by the grace of God. But even as we have seen a curtailing of the threats represented by Boko Haram, we have seen other threats emerging. Islamic State, West Africa, ISWAP, and others in the Lake Chad Islands and part of southern Borno. Radical Islamist terrorism is an evil that must be seen as the common enemy of all faiths, including Islam. As the president said, and I paraphrase, anyone who says Allahu Akbar and goes on to kill either is insane or dangerously ignorant of even the tenets of Islam. The likes of Boko Haram, ISIS, Islamic State of West Africa, ISWAP, and many Salafist jihadist ideologies are expansionist ideologies that feed purely on hate, hatred of any person or group that does not belong to their particular sect. They have no redressable grievances, so there are no terms of reference for peace. They are fanatics committed to a twisted creed. They exploit the ignorance of the tenets of their faith, poverty and exclusion, and the recruit men and women, and use children to perpetrate the most heinous atrocities. They are motivated by a satanic desire to control communities by murder and terror, whether it is in Iraq, whether it is in Iraq or Borno or Syria. The victims are men and women and children, Muslim or Christians, so long as they do not share their sick ideology. They target churches, they target mosques, they target markets and motor parks, where people gather, using children as human bombs to kill randomly, regardless of tribe or faith. The challenge for us is to recognize this for what it is, this extremism, this sick extremism for what it is, and to form alliances across faiths, across ethnicities, to destroy an evil that confronts us all. There are also other situations of insecurity in our midst. Fulani herder and farmer conflicts, random killings, banditry and kidnapping, some attributed to Fulani bandits, others, of course, of people of other persuasions. In different parts of the country, there are external challenges that the army has had to intervene in on several occasions. But on behalf of the President, I want to reassure all Nigerians that these issues are being seriously tackled by the federal government, working with the states through a multi-pronged approach, working with the Nigerian Army and all of our security forces and all of our law enforcement agencies. Nobody will be allowed to maim, kill, or commit other crimes and escape. It is our duty to apprehend and punish these criminals And we are doing that and will continue to do so. We will hear a lot more about these solutions in the weeks and months ahead. Law enforcement is, of course, an important element of our response. We've seen an unprecedented ramping up of the deployment of military personnel, multi-agency operations, and squads, such as the Operation Wellstroke, the training and deployment of special forces, new forward operating bases, and so on, to the various flashpoints in the last 18 months. Several bandits' hideouts and camps have been destroyed, and hundreds of arrests have been made. And it is now up to our judicial system to ensure that justice is meted out, not just comprehensively, but also in a timely manner. The Nigerian Army through the years has exemplified the ideals of a united country. Regardless of ethnicity or religion, you have fought side by side with your brothers and sisters of different faiths and ethnicities, and you have seen many fall by your side as they paid the supreme sacrifice in battle. Enemy fire does not distinguish one from the other, nor does it distinguish one faith from another. But the blood of so many and the abounding grace of God has kept this nation together. This is why we must never let the self-serving ethnic and religious jingoes and bigots they may be create the circumstances for strife and bloodshed again in this nation. This is also an opportunity to remind ourselves and to remind all Nigerians of the need to live in peace with one another, the importance of choosing unity and tolerance over the impulse to be sectional, vengeful, or violent in any way. In this second term, the primary focus of the Buhari administration is to build on the foundation that we have laid over the last 4 years and correct the lapses observed. One of the priorities of the next level is the welfare of serving and retired personnel. You have already seen the demonstration of our commitment in this regard in recent years, and we will not relent in these particular efforts. Let me again join all Nigerians to thank our armed forces, the police and other law enforcement agencies, all working diligently to protect us at great cost to personal comfort and personal survival. We must commend and congratulate the Chief of Army Staff for his dedication and patriotism, his loyalty and doggedness in leading the Nigerian Army in the fight against terrorism and other security challenges. Today's award recipients, let me make it clear that you are our heroes and that we are extremely proud of you. I congratulate you all on the honor coming your way today in recognition of your selfless and exceptional contributions to the successes recorded by the Nigerian Army, especially in the last 12 months. To the awardees in the ranks of the veterans of the Second World War, the veterans of the Civil War, and members of the Nigerian Legion, our nation remains indebted to you for your service. Congratulations. To our gallant serving men and women of the Army, I implore you to continue to discharge your duties according to the rules of engagement and in line with constitutional provisions. But perhaps the most impressive feature of today's celebrations is the demonstration of our local capacity to manufacture armored vehicles. We have seen what DICON, in collaboration with the Command Engineering Depot of the Nigerian Army, has done with the manufacture of infantry patrol vehicles, tactical patrol vehicles, sophisticated mine clearance systems, and other equipments of warfare. Proforce, a local vehicle company, has also displayed its mine-resistant anti-ambush protected vehicles that are designed 100% here in Nigeria in collaboration with the Nigerian Army. Already, some African countries have purchased armored vehicles from this company. Nigeria will, in another decade, manufacture most of its military hardware. Once again, I congratulate you all on witnessing yet another Nigeria Army Day celebration. God bless you all. Long live the Nigerian Army. Long live the armed forces of Nigeria. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you all.
Welcome back from that speech by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Now, like I said earlier, in our subsequent edition, we're bringing you a security expert to dissect the salient points in that speech made by the Vice President. Moving on the program, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, also delivered a speech during the grand finale of the Nigerian Army Day Celebration 2019. We will get you that speech now so that you will hear what he has to say, the achievements of the Nigerian Army, and the way forward for the Nigerian Army.
With great delight that I welcome our special guest of honor, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and all other invited guests to this grand finale of the Nigerian Army Day Celebration and Combat Support Arms Training Week 2019. May I, on behalf of the entire Nigerian Army family, most profoundly thank the Commander-in-Chief for finding time to grace this occasion. The Nigerian Army Day Celebration is an annual event which always affords the Nigerian Army an opportunity to showcase its rich history, values, modest achievements. It is also designed to array our personnel and equipment with a view to showcasing our combat capability as an army. Similarly, it is aimed at projecting the Nigerian Army as a key instrument of national power, unity, integration, and development. This year's celebration, taking place here in Lagos, is being held jointly with the Combat Support Arms Training Week, which is a platform that provides the combat support arms in the Nigerian Army to appraise their performance in their tasks of providing effective combat support for the Nigerian Army operations. Additionally, this year's celebration has once again provided us with another opportunity to celebrate and honor some of our deserving personnel. Let me use this opportunity to reiterate our absolute determination to achieve success in our fight against insurgency and other forms of criminality in the country. We are determined to remain resolute and ruthless to deal with all forms of criminality in our country. A lot of our colleagues have paid the supreme price and contributed their quota in what we have so far achieved, despite the existence of some security challenges in the country. We remember their sacrifices and also pray for the repose of their souls. Our hearts are with their families now and always. May the Almighty God continue to grant them eternal rest. Amen. Our efforts must not be relaxed until our mission of complete defeat of the insurgents and other criminals in the country is attained. It is in actualization of this that this year's theme, which is Professionally Responsive Soldiering, a panacea for successful military operations, was chosen, which is very much in tandem with my vision to have a professionally responsive Nigerian Army in the discharge of its constitutional roles. We are all aware that the country is facing numerous security challenges, and this has necessitated the Nigerian Army's current involvement in conducting numerous operations across the country. The operations are aimed at tackling the nefarious acts of these criminal elements in order to restore sanity to our dear country. Additionally, the Nigerian Army has introduced numerous non-kinetic or the soft power approach aimed at winning the hearts and minds of the citizens. Some of these interventions are aimed at providing the much needed security for our people who are engaged in one form of business or the other, and to enable our farmers to return to their farms. To achieve this, the Nigerian Army has also introduced and indeed currently conducts campaign stabilization projects in the Northeast, which focuses on countering the Boko Haram negative ideology of ensuring the safe return of the internally displaced persons and refugees to their ancestral homes. Let me also use this opportunity to express our deepest appreciation to Mr. President and indeed the Vice President for their immense support and encouragement to the Nigerian Army. You have indeed left no stone unturned in ensuring that the Nigerian Army is operationally efficient to carry out its role in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our appreciation also goes to the members of the legislature, the Chief of Defense Staff, other service chiefs and paramilitary organizations for their support and encouragement. May I at this point thank my gallant officers and soldiers who have remained dogged in the discharge of their constitutional roles of ensuring the nation is safe and secured. I am fully aware of your numerous sacrifices, including paying the ultimate price. On this day, we remember your sacrifices and labor of love, and equally pray the souls of the departed to continue to rest in peace. To the award recipients, I say congratulations, as we expect this to spur you to redouble your efforts in the service of your fatherland. Each of the award recipients has a cash reward of 2 million naira. Finally, let me at this point reaffirm our unalloyed loyalty to Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I assure Your Excellency that we will continue to remain apolitical and professionally responsive Nigerian Army in the discharge of our constitutional roles. We have also pledged to be very ruthless to all the criminal elements that are bound to disturb the peace and security of our dear country. Once again, I thank Mr. President and other invited guests for finding time to grace this occasion today and share in our joy. I want to also thank His Excellency, the Vice President, for always being there for us. He has given us all the moral support. We thank you, Your Excellency.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We must say congratulations to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, and indeed the entire Nigerian Army for having done a lot to ensure the unity and the stability of Nigeria, especially in the northeast, in the northwest, and some other parts of the country. They have done a lot, and today Nigeria is better for it. Once again, congratulations to the Nigerian Army. especially the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Chukwu Yusuf Buratai. A lot was lined out concerning this year's Nigerian Army Day celebration. Next week, we'll be getting you some other parts of the celebration. Please stay tuned to us, to this channel, as we unfold what actually happened in this year's Nigerian Army Day celebration. Well, that is all we can do, we can take for this week on your program, Security Reports. But like we always say, security is everybody's business. You must say something where you see something. Our security agents cannot work without information. So that is why we need everybody to come on board to give informations that will actually save lives. It is important we give informations that will save lives, that will bring unity, that will bring togetherness, that will help Nigeria move forward as a country. Remember, without a secured state, the economy cannot grow. That's all we can take for this week. I remain yours and only, Ernest Enuniku. Bye-bye for now.